I've spent all week with this 2023 Buick Envision, and today I'm going to show you everything there is to know about it, take you inside, outside, then on the road with some POV shots. So let me pick up the camera and let's get right into this thing. Let's take a look at what is powering this Buick Envision ST. It is a 2-liter turbo Ecotec 4-cylinder engine that does 228 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque, and I'm pretty sure that is standard across all Envision models, so that is great news. We're also paired with a 9-speed automatic transmission, and of course it is all-wheel drive, so I love that already. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's start up the front. Let's look at these headlights right here. Daytime running LEDs, really like the design. Very sporty, very nice looking. And then we have this nice main headlight here as well as some fake vents down there with some sensor housings, and then we have our front-facing camera right next to that classic Buick logo, some air intake down there. But overall, the front end of the Buick ST Envision ST looks very nice. I'm very happy with it. Really does bring the ST Vision to life, if you will. So let's now walk on over to the side for the Buick Envision ST, and you can see how compact it is, but also how nice those blacked out rims look with the white body color. I am a fan of it. Also, something that comes with the ST is these painted door handles, which is very nice with this one-touch lock and unlock button. It's a physical button, so it will work in the winter, which is great. Blacked out mirrors with a little camera right underneath there. I love that. And the rims even have a Buick logo right there too. So like that little attention to detail, but I do like the side. The back windows are a little bit tinted out, so we like that. And last but not least, we have the rear of the Buick Envision ST. Of course, we have the all-wheel drive badge as well as the ST badge, classic Buick logo, and some fake exhaust vents. Uh-oh, that's not great. The exhausts are fake, but I don't really care because the exhaust note isn't anything to write home about. So I give it a pass there, but I mean, they could have put some nice exhaust. I don't know. It doesn't matter. ST version, I mean, it's a Buick, right? So what do we care about that? I also like how thick these tires are. Very nice, and nice for the winter too when it does come to that. But we also have a nice rear view camera right here, as well as some nice looking headlights. So overall, look of the exterior of the Envision ST is very good, very sporty, very, I want to say, younger oriented. It kind of turns an old car and tries to get the younger audience in, which is what you want to do. So that's great. Let's take a look though at the trunk space. Of course, it is automatic tailgate, which we love. And then I have some things in here for my filming gear in here, just a stand here for some stuff. And then this is stuff from the dealer. I'm not sure what it is. Then underneath here, we have some tire storage, pretty much all there is under there, but you can take it out if you're feeling confident. Then we have this thing here that hides the cargo when the trunk is closed. Love that. So when you're shopping, you're not worried about somebody smashing your back window out, but plenty of room to put stuff in the length or the width wise. Whatever you're doing, you will have an easy time fitting stuff in this Buick Envision trunk, and I love that as well. But with that being said, let's hop into the interior and let's get up and close and personal with all that stuff. Okay, as usual, back seat is first. Let's take a look. So I open the door, greeted with a nice black with the white stitching here, as well as like this thing that looks like it's carbon fiber, but it's not really. But it is nice. It does split things up, so I like that. So there's no heated seated button on the door. It's actually over there. But then we can take a look at these nice seats. Red leather stitching. Really like this for the ST version of the Buick Envision. So let's take a seat inside. I got a lot of room. So the seats are kind of raised up here, so my feet kind of slot right underneath, and I am very comfortable like this. Then over here, this is where the heated seat buttons are. I have two options for either one, well, one side or the other, not either one. There you go. So that's not too bad. And then we also have two vents, no HVAC control because we have a small cabin in here. It's compact. Then I have a USB-C, USB-A, very normal stuff. This guy right here is going to pull down and going to be a cup holder and a nice little armrest, so nothing to complain about there. But I like how these seats are kind of indented. They kind of hold you nicely. This part of the seat is a little bit short. It doesn't go as long as some of the other SUVs, but that is for space, I'm sure, and space we do have back here. So I'm very happy with that. Then we got a very nice view of that panoramic sunroof. So overall, it's very impressively good here in the back seat of the Buick Envision. Let's check out the business end, let's go up front. All right, let's get to the business end of things. Let's take a look at this big front door where we have some basic controls. Your memory seating is right down here. Then we have these window controls as well. Down here we have the button for the automatic tailgate and the Bose speaker right there. Then we take a look over at these seats right here. We have the ST badging that's embroidered that I really like, feels really cool. Same thing where it's kind of indented, very nice, like sporty looking seat. So the ST version of the Buick Enclave is really doing it for me this week. That red stitching, love that. Can't go wrong with the red and black. But let's hop in. Let's take a seat here inside the Buick Envision. And nice steering wheel. That logo is actually still the old one. I think on the, is it the Invista that they have that's new, that have like, they changed the logo a little bit, but I still don't mind it. It is the same as we're used to seeing it for quite a few years now, but it's not a big thing to complain about. Like the steering wheel, like the physical controls here, very basic stuff, very basic GM stuff. If you've seen GM before, you're gonna see this too. So nothing huge to complain about steering wheel wise. Then we can take a look over on my left-hand side. I have some basic window controls as well as the controls for the heads-up display, and then this thing that pops out for the illumination. We saw that last week with the Chevrolet Blazer. Then you can see it's tiny, but you can see it is a heads-up display, which is very nice. Didn't have that on the Blazer, and it actually costs more than this guy, so that's very cool. Then we move over onto this infotainment display. Very nice. Everything, as you can see right here, is all driver facing. It's facing right towards me, which I really like. So same GM infotainment that you saw last week with the Blazer. So I still really like this little button here. If you don't want to touch the screen, you can use it, but I like it a lot. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, as well as wired, built-in navigation, built-in Amazon Alexa if you want. Spotify's built in too. You got, an air quality filter, even not a filter, but just tells you what the air quality is and tells you what to do if it's not great or whatever. So that's cool, especially with the forest fires. It's interesting to have that. Anyways, you can control your climate through here. All that cool stuff is right there. Then we have like a digital and analog gauge cluster. So like these numbers kind of light up digitally as well. Like it's a cool mix, and I don't hate it. I actually like it better than the one that I saw in the Blazer, so I'll give it that for the Buick. But yeah, you basically have you can have your directions, you can have some options, you can see the vehicle settings. Usually I just keep it on the music settings because I can see my speed via the heads-up display, so I don't need it. But you're also going to get displayed there the two-wheel drive, and what the temperature, time, and obviously look how low kilometers that is. It's so low because I am probably one of the first ones to check out this version of the Buick here in Montreal, here in Quebec. So that's very cool. Thank you, GM, for letting me do that. Then if we move over, we have this nice HVAC control where not all of the controls are here. I can control the fan speed and also the temperature. There are only heated seats in here, and then you can control the level. So I thought maybe if I did this, it would trigger ventilation, but no, it does not. And you get a good shot of the pedals right down there. Those are nice gloss or like metallic pedals. They're not boring at all, so I like that too. So like I said, the HVAC controls are good. I have to click this climate button, which will then bring up this screen so that I can control like where the air is coming from, but that's really it. But it's effective. I don't mind that at all. Then moving on down, we have a little storage place where I have my USB plugged in as well. You can do a USB-C. Then we have some controls here for the automatic stop start, for the hill descent climb, for the lane keep assist, traction control off, parking sensors, all that stuff. Then we have the very interesting gear selector. I don't hate it. I don't mind it at all. The toggles are easier to use. I know sometimes like in the Yukon, they'll put them there, and the toggles are weird when it's like distance from you, but this is fine. This works perfectly fine. And then I can actually put it into manual mode because I have some paddle shifters right here, which is interesting. Not the fastest shifting thing in the world. You see it in the driving, but no big deal. Then I have some modes. We'll go over that in the driving. Then I have this interesting little storage thing here. Opens, reminds me of the Escalade. I believe the Escalade opened like that too. Not a bad bit of storage there. Bose speaker there. Nice glove compartment, but overall very good. There's no digital rear view camera or anything like that. But I don't care because this is a $47,000 SUV. And for what you get here so far in the interior, I'm impressed. I like it a lot. So with that being said, let's move on to the driving and let's get going. All right, 2023 Buick Envision with the ST package, of course, with the Sport package. So let me tell you how much of a cool week it's been. I mean, honestly, the Envision has really surprised me. I didn't think that I was gonna like it as much as I do, so that's really, really cool. I thought, okay, I'm picking it up, got low kilometers, there's not much, I didn't think there was much going on, and then boom, it surprises me. Not a lot of people checked it out, but it does surprise me a lot. So let's pop her into sport mode here. It's got all-wheel drive, sport, and of course an off-road mode. So it does have all-wheel drive, which is very, very nice. So in the winter, it'll be absolutely no problem. I have a heads-up display, very nice, with these paddle shifters, which I do really enjoy. So let me tap the brakes here and we will go for a quick rip in the ST version. Let's go. Not a lot of lag. There was way more lag in the Blazer that I had last week. Engine noise isn't that bad either, so you know, just a little bit more than 200 horsepower in here, and it can definitely pick up. So passing slower traffic, not going to be an issue. Getting around, you know, people that are very slow on the highway, not going to be an issue. So that's really good news. It's just solid. Like, the sport mode is fun to use. Cuts a little bit of that body roll out since the steering is really stiff, like really stiff. That's kind of good. Suspension is good. Obviously the all-wheel drive system is very nice to have. I feel very confident in that. So around corners, around tighter bends, the Envision does do well. And I mean, look, at its price point, it's kind of what you would want for this type of SUV, right? Like, it's got a lot of the nice luxurious features. The ride quality is there too. You know, it's not that bad on gas. Like right now, I am probably doing, I think my best was like a 10 or 11, and my worst is probably about a 14 liters per 100 kilometers. So it's not too bad. Like, see, right at this very moment, it's about a 12.1. So it's not too bad. I do a whole bunch of city driving, so you have to keep that in mind as well. But even with that being said, it's very nice on fuel economy. Ride quality is very good. I'm be confident in this in the winter. It can do off-road if you need to, so the all-wheel drive system is there to serve you very nicely. So, you know, not a lot of bad things to say, which is kind of good, you know, other than the fact that no, it does not have any blind spot detection because of the microchip shortage. So the parking sensors and the blind spot detection are gone. They do not exist, but there is like a $380 rebate for this one. If, say, I was to walk into the dealer tomorrow and actually purchase this one, I would get a rebate on that. So at least they're fair that way. And I guess some people would rather have a car with no blind spot than no car at all. So you know what, we will kind of take things like that. That's not bad at all. So overall, the visibility of the Envision is also very good. I really don't have any problems. I can see out of my driver big windscreen. I've got good blind spot because there's no detection, so I definitely need a good blind spot to see. So when I turn my head like this, no problem, I can see it. The seats are also very comfortable. I like the way they hold me. I think the Sport version or the ST version of the Envision might be the way to go. It's definitely the way I would go, despite you maybe get a little bit more features on the higher levels trims. The Sport trim is definitely the way I'm going if I'm buying this car for myself. It does add a little bit extra to it. It looks a little bit nicer on the interior, a little bit nicer on the exterior, so I am a fan of that. Like, the only really bad thing that I have to say about the Envision is, like, okay, it didn't come with a blind spot, and maybe the pillars here are not the greatest in the world, but you know, not the greatest. I'm saying not the greatest because they're like the stock, like, beige kind of thing. They didn't bother to paint it. But if that saves me money, I don't care. You know, this is a very solid mid-tier luxury vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B safely, and it's not slow. It's not that boring to drive. So you know what, we've got a solid platform here. So, you know, eventually I'm assuming that Buick will start to electrify things, and I wouldn't be surprised to see the Envision be one of them. So if you envision yourself in one of these vehicles, you might want to wait a little bit because they may electrify it and they may make it a hybrid. This thing would kill as a hybrid, like, my goodness. But yeah, I'm just comfortable in it. You know, I really don't have any reservations about it. It's just solid. It's very solid. I love how the cockpit's very oriented. These 360-degree cameras are very high quality. The other thing I guess maybe would be nice to have in this trim would be the digital rear view mirror, because I love it so much, but I can live with the fact that I don't have it. It's not a big deal. When I first kind of jumped into the Buick Envision, like, I found the steering wheel very small because I was coming from cars with a big steering wheel, but then you kind of adjust and you realize you don't need a huge steering wheel for that at all. It's just it's pointless to have a massive steering wheel if the car is this big. So when it comes to compact SUVs, the Buick Envision is a really great option. Like I said, I really don't have a lot of negatives to say, which is great. Four-wheel drive system is great, ride quality is great, look is boring on the outside, but when we come onto the interior, there's not a lot to say that's boring about it. I love the driver focus. I love, like, this fake carbon fiber stuff. I just like the look of it. So Buick has done a very solid job of just giving you a mid-size SUV that isn't gonna break the wallet, at least in terms of today. I know the SUV prices are getting out of hand. That's not a question or a thing that's a debate. That's just fact. They are getting very much out of hand, but Buick has kind of tried to keep the cost low, and I can't fault them for that. So that's really, really cool. So if you're in the market for one of these, I think you'll be very, very happy. But that being said, I think I'll go ahead and end the video right here. If you're wondering what it was like to live with the Buick for 5 days or 7 days, however long I have this car for, then there should be a video already up on the channel that's going to take you through all that, all my time up until filming for PRN on Saturday. So if you're interested, go check that out if you want to see what it's actually like to come outside every day and drive the Buick Envision and not just the POV review. But of course, I'll always have this here too. So if you liked, make sure you like, make sure that you comment if you're in the market, if you liked, if I missed anything, if there's something I'm missing. Does your Buick, if you have the Buick Envision, did yours come with a blind spot or did you take it without? Let me know everything there is in the comments, and make sure you subscribe so I can bring you more cool vehicles. If everything pans out in August, I have a very cool month, so you're gonna want to subscribe and stay tuned. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Take care.